I came to work at this lab on July 7, 1948. In 1948, the Cleveland Indians ended up the season tied with the Boston Red Sox for first place in the American League. The Boston Braves had won the pennant in the National League, and the people in Boston were hoping for an all-subway, a Boston World Series between the Braves and the Red Sox. But a playoff game was set up between the Cleveland Indians and the Boston Red Sox on the first Monday after the end of the season. They played in Fenway Park. The Indians won the game 8-3. Manager Lou Boudreau of the Indians hit 2 home runs in that game, and the Indians went to the World Series against the Boston Braves. My first 10 years at the lab, I worked in turbine aerodynamics. I worked in turbine aerodynamics, designing turbines, experimental turbines. I worked in turbojet engines, turbofan engines, and ducted fan and fanjet engines, and turboprop engines. As a result of that, I wrote 13 reports in which I was author or co-author of those engines that I just mentioned. In 1964, my daughter became old enough to need a two-wheel bike. So I bought her a two-wheel bike. Then I got the idea, why don't I have a two-wheel bike? So I got myself a two-wheel bike, a bicycle, and I've been riding to the lab here since 1964. Until a few years ago, I rode year-round, winter and summer, rain, snow, all kinds of weather. The coldest weather I ever rode the bike in was when the record was 17 degrees below zero. Since that time, about 10 years ago or so, the temperature became, the Cleveland temperature reached 20 degrees or something like that. But nowadays that I'm getting up in years, my wife says, ride the bike only in the good weather. So I ride my bike 6 months a year now that I'm up in years. But until just in the last few years, I rode it year around. So I'm still riding the bike every day. I rode the bike's right outside this window right here. When they ask me when I'm going to retire, I just say, I'll probably retire the next time the Cleveland Indians win the World Series. Between 1920, the last time the Cleveland Indians won the World Series, until now, they won one World Series, which was the 1948 World Series. So the Cleveland Indians won once in 88 years. So that's how I shut someone up. I tell them I'll retire when the Indians win the next time they win the World Series, which might be another 100 years.